It all started with a video. Not an ordinary video, but a rare moment captured by one of the most trusted fan sites, showing Jungkook's tense expression after a training session with BTS. The eyes of the Korean gold star appeared red, not from fatigue, because of anger that lasts too long. "That's enough," he said softly, barely audible, but clear from the motion of the lips that the camera captured. Then he stopped, staring towards the back of the studio, as if he was waiting for someone. But the figure he was waiting for never showed up that night. That person is Kim Taehyung, at that time. The army knew something is not okay. It's been almost 2 weeks since Taehyung began to appear infrequently in BTS's official content. He was absent from rehearsals, absent from some live shows, and only gave vague updates via Instagram stories. No face, no voice. Just a short text. "I'm fine." But is it really so? ARMY, who had known Taehyung for more than a decade, knew full well, when someone like Taehyung says, "I'm fine," that's the clearest sign that he's actually not doing very well. In a shocking live broadcast, Jungkook appeared alone. His face was pale, his voice was heavy, and there was no smile on his lips. Normally, he would greet cheerfully, but not this time. No music.
No funny filters.
Only the light of the room and Jungkook sitting with a sharp gaze. "I can't DM anymore," he said in a quiet voice. "It's about Taehyung. And I think you, ARMY, deserve to know the truth." Instantly, millions of soldiers around the world stopped breathing. Live is not a promotion. Not fan service. That is a confession. According to Jungkook, Taehyung suffered serious injuries to his shoulder and lower back some time ago. An injury that should have taken a long break, but instead was forced to perform in various events for the sake of professionalism. He's in pain. After each gig, he sat in a corner of the room holding his waist and holding a deep breath. But he kept saying, "I can," because he doesn't want to be a burden. And the most surprising? HYBE knows. Jungkook said the pressure from management is enormous to maintain BTS's cheerful image, even if it means hiding the members' own suffering. She was forced to remain in front of the camera, despite the trembling of her body. They said, "Taehyung is a BTS visual. He has to exist." As if he was just a face without pain. That sentence made the live chat explode. ARMY cried, angry, and some even began demanding #HYBESpeakup echoed on X Twitter. Jungkook is down. At first glance, it was noticeable that tears began to fall on her cheeks. "I know I could get in trouble for saying this, but I don't care anymore." He sighed deeply. It's not just about health. It's about self-esteem. Taehyung is not a robot. She is not a doll that you can show off constantly regardless of whether she can stand or not. In an instant, the atmosphere of the broadcast changed. This is not just a confession. This is a form of resistance. In a hoarse voice, Jungkook recounted the incident that made him completely lose his temper. During one of the closed-door training sessions for the upcoming project, Taehyung fell because his knees were not strong enough to support his exhausted body. All the members panicked except for one party, the management. Some of the staff said, "How did he fall? We shoot the day after tomorrow." And they actually asked Taehyung to stand up, smile, and act normal for the teaser, though he can't stand up straight yet. According to Jungkook, Taehyung actually knew that his body was too tired. But with his calm and reserved nature, he didn't want to make a big deal out of it. He said, "I'm afraid if I talk, everything will be noisy. I'm just a happy soldier." But the truth? The more he was silent, the deeper the wounds he had to endure alone. I saw him endure the pain while still smiling in front of the camera. I watched him shiver after the concert, but still told the fans, "I'm okay." That's not professionalism. It's inhumane sacrifice. Behind the magnificent stage and stunning spotlights, it turns out that a heartbreaking story is hidden. Jungkook recounted that Taehyung often sat alone in the waiting room, clutching his phone with trembling hands, just to make sure ARMY wasn't worried. I've seen him write long captions about his condition. But then he deleted it. He's afraid you're sad. He's afraid you're mad at HYBE. He was afraid of being the reason for the split. And in fact, The hidden wound became a poison that slowly damaged him physically and mentally. After the live that seized the attention of the world, the public waited and HYBE remained silent. No statement, no clarification, but a few hours later, Jungkook reappeared on Weverse with a short but stomping line. "Your silence is proof. Don't think I'm scared." Army in uproar. Not only because of Jungkook's bravery, but because it's the first time a BTS member has publicly challenged the authority of the company that raised them. Not long after Jungkook's live, a former BTS production staff member shared an anonymous story corroborating Jungkook's statement. In a lengthy post, the staff revealed that Taehyung had actually been advised to take a break since last year, but the request was rejected. The reason? Global contracts, advertising schedules, and sponsorship requests. Taehyung is a face too precious to let rest. According to the source, there was even a moment where Taehyung almost fainted during the photo shoot, but was still forced to complete all the sessions for the sake of the deadline. I end this chapter. We get into the darker side. It's not just physical, it's mental. Jungkook finally says that some time ago, Taehyung had a severe mental breakdown. He even asked that his entire schedule be cancelled and wanted to disappear from the public for an indefinite period. We all panicked. But HYBE, they just said, if he stops now, the stock could fall. Seriously? Stocks. It's people's lives, not numbers. Knowing the bitter truth, armies around the world are not standing still. Petitions, online protests, and solidarity actions have sprung up. From Seoul to Sao Paulo, murals depicting Taehyung with the words, "Not your puppet," began to appear. Fans also sent protest trucks to the front of the HYBE building with heartbreaking messages such as, "Stop the exploitation." Jungkook is not a liar. We want Taehyung to be healthy, not Taehyung who is forced to smile. In an unofficial interview leaked by staff, Jungkook once said, "I have to choose between my career and Taehyung's health. I'll choose Taehyung. BTS is not BTS if one of us is destroyed slowly." The sentence immediately went viral. And what is more surprising? No objection from HYBE did a few days later. HYBE finally issued an official statement. However, instead of apologizing, they simply called public perception has been misinterpreted. This statement only makes things worse. ARMY felt harassed, and Jungkook gave no response, only changing his profile photo to a plain black image, a sign that he is disappointed and angry. Sure. We continue the last two chapters in a controversial, emotional, and provocative style closing with a shocking and unexpected ending that, in the midst of a storm that never subsided, astonishing news emerged. An anonymous insider from the Korean entertainment industry revealed that not everyone inside BTS agreed with Jungkook's move to expose Taehyung's condition to the public. There is pressure from the top, even from the internal, so that Jungkook stops all this. The insider wrote in a closed forum. This news exploded in the community. Who betrayed Jungkook? Was there a member who was told to be quiet by HYBE? Or worse, has anyone been keeping Taehyung quiet all this time, but the army refused without evidence? Their focus is one: protecting Taehyung and supporting Jungkook, who has risked everything for the truth. That night, an upload on Weverse shook the world. Taehyung, who has been silent, finally writes himself a digital letter to the army. The letter was not long, but every word he said pierced. "My beloved army, I'm sorry for making you worry. I apologize for being silent for so long. But I also want you to know, I'm already too tired. Not because of you, but because of this world, which forces me to always smile, even when I can't stand. Thank you, Jungkook. Because of you, I feel seen, not as a star, but as a man." The last sentence in the letter made the world cry. A few days after the letter went viral, the entertainment world was rocked again. Jungkook and Taehyung were not present at BTS's comeback. HYBE simply said there was a personal reason, without further details, but the world knows this is no ordinary excuse.